Hello there, music friends. Are you ready for a swirly review?
Hi, my name is Ron Boats, and you are watching liveprog.
An album that would almost make you dizzy. I have for you Spiral by Vangelis. Spiral was the third album he recorded in his Nemo Studios in London. As you know, or may not know, Vangelis has moved around a little bit. He was of course born and raised in Greece, he stayed there for a while, he moved to France, he moved to England, he moved back to Greece. In the time that he spent in England, in London with his Nemo Studios, this was the third album he recorded after Heaven and Hell and Albedo Point 9. This is probably one of the more familiar albums by Vangelis, simply for the fact that two of the tracks on this album are often used on television, on programs, and as a sort of background music. Now, here we have that original version with that really cool cover. I really love that very much, and I can do even one better, because I also have this one, and as you can see, an LP. And the nice thing about it is that it is, as you can see here, probably it is a Spanish pressing, Spanish LP. You know, really cool, the artwork as it's supposed to be. You know, Vangelis recorded and released this album in 1977, and now we have a remastered version by Esoteric recordings. We have the rear. There you have it. There are a few interesting things to mention about this album. First of all, Vangelis did practically everything on this album himself. Of course, he composed and performed the album, but he also recorded it, produced it, and he even created this really cool cover. So he did a lot on this album. Also, the inspiration of it, there's this really small line here at the bottom. It's not on here, but it is inside the booklet, and that says here, going on means going far means returning. And this is a quote by Tao Tse Ching, a Chinese man, all founded in Taoism, which apparently interested Vangelis very much. And as I said, swirly review, spirally review, that is the idea which you get when you listen to this album. And not just the music, but also the song titles all have a reference to circles, swirling, whirling, spiraling, you know, all those kinds of things. The title track, of course, but also Dervish D. Now, a little personal anecdote here. All the way back when I just had my first CD player, one of the very first CDs I just found somewhere was called Synthesizer's Greatest. It was a compilation, and I thought it was a compilation album, but it turns out it was just some guy playing songs from different electronic musicians, like Jean-Michel Jarre, like Kraftwerk, but also Vangelis. And it featured the song Dervish D on it. That was the first time I ever heard music of Vangelis, and I really loved that particular song. Back then, I had no idea it came from this album, Spiral here, but now I do, of course, and it says, there's a nice quote here. Vangelis made it a deal to tell people why he made that song. It says here, inspired by the dervish dancer who by his whirling realizes the spiraling of the universe. Well, apparently he had something going on with spirals, and circles and everything, interesting, but he made some amazing music with it, so we forgive him for that. But if you have ever seen a Dervish dancer, well, you know how well that idea, that image fits in the music, and especially if you listen to that song, you can really picture it in your mind. So it's a really fantastic song. Then you have, of course, To the Unknown Man, which is a very well-known song, one of the longer songs which really builds up. It's a very nice song. Now, as I said, this one was released in 1977, and back then synthesizers that were brand new then are now either old or vintage, depends on your viewpoint. But back then the Yamaha CS80 was brand new, and Vangelis got one and he used it very much on this album. He used it ever since he got it, up to his, well, the latest music he makes, he still uses that synthesizer. But especially on this one, and he really mastered it. What he also does a lot on this album are sequences. You don't hear that many sequences on his other albums, but on this one, a lot of them. Especially in a track like Spiral, but also in a track like 3+3, which is an interesting title, which apparently says that that song is formed in 3 different pieces, which, well, you just check it out on Wikipedia, because it's a little more technical, and I'm not a musician, so I just try to forget that and just enjoy the track. It is not the favorite track on this album for me. The favorite tracks for me are Spiral, Dervish D, and To the Unknown Man. Absolutely, those are my favorite tracks. Those are the main reason why I like this album so much. 3+3 is nice. Then there's this song called Ballad, which is also a quite lengthy song, very atmospheric, bit ambient, with some sampled vocals in it, although I understood that those vocals are from Vangelis himself. I usually skip that song. I don't know why, but it doesn't work for me. I don't like it particularly. The other tracks are much more interesting. The added value of this remaster, besides the fact that hopefully a new generation who has no idea who Vangelis is will rediscover him through these remasters, but they added another nice piece of history in it, because in 1977 To the Unknown Man was released as a single, vinyl, and a single, unlike a CD, has 2 sides, so they needed a song for the other side, for the B-side. That became To the Unknown Man Part 2. It's only 2.5 minutes long, but it's a really beautiful song. It fits perfectly in the line of the album. It fits perfectly as a sort of continuation from the original To the Unknown Man, and it is very nice that they included that, so that way that song can be preserved for posterity. Oh, heavy words. I'd say this is a great album. I give this an 8. If you're not familiar with Vangelis, and if you think, I heard some music and oh, that's Vangelis, okay, well, check it out, because, electronic music is often viewed as a niche, as difficult, and, you really gotta like that, but Vangelis makes electronic music for a lot more people to enjoy. He makes it a lot more accessible, so therefore I say, check it out. The end! Vangelis Spiral. How many Vangelis albums do you have, and what is your favorite album? What do you think of Spiral? Do you like it or do you not like it? Let me know as a comment on my YouTube channel. And while you're there, click on the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on not just another Vangelis review that will come, but also many more other great reviews of amazing albums. Also, you can visit my website, liveprog.com. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And I hope you will see me at a new review.